Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. Today is a tinkering video and I've got a few things to show you today. One of them in particular, and not necessarily in the right order, is the fridge. I've got a way or a solution to prevent spills and upsets inside the fridge when you're towing. Save you a big mess when you open the door. The next thing we have is an issue if you've got a Sprite like mine or any other van with a very small toiletry holder in the shower. I've got a little solution for that as well. And then we have a make. We are going to be replacing the board that's underneath here where I'm sat now. It covers over the boiler and the seat cushions fit on it. Ours is sagged and warped and it needs replacing, so we're going to be doing that. And the last thing is the corner steady pads. I've broken one and after 8 years I'm absolutely gutted because these have been really good. If it weren't for my silly mistake when I was setting up, this wouldn't have happened. So I'm going to be replacing them with some like for like Malenko pads, and I'll talk to you more about those in a moment. So let's get on with today's Sunday tinkering. Now the next thing I want to do is add something to the bathroom. Now Juliet tends to use the shower blocks at the sites that we stay at. I like to shower in the Caravan. I started when we very first bought it just to test it out, and ever since then I've used it. There's the odd occasion I might go to the shower block. But the problem with the Sprite is this. If you look at this picture here, you can see the actual area for my toiletries is very small, and I tend to take quite large ones because I buy one at the beginning of the season, and if I don't have to replace it, I don't, and if I do, I do. That's how I do it. So the bottles I have are quite big and they are a bit of a nuisance when I'm trying to shower, and the last thing I want to do is drop one inside the shower tray and crack it. So with that in mind, I've come up with a little solution that I purchased. Again, it was on Amazon and it was quite reasonable, and it only took a day to come, so I was quite pleased about it. So I'm going to show you what I bought and then I'm going to show you where I'm going to fix it. So let's get on with that now. So this is what I've purchased. It's suction mounted, and if you peel off these little tabs here, it's slightly sticky. So it's actually going to stay suctioned to the unit. Now with the shower units in Caravans, they're very thin, the walls, and the shower trays are not much thicker either. So you need something that's going to be quite lightweight, which this is. I didn't go for a deep base one. What I wanted to do is just put them in. I'd have got lazy, to be honest with you. I'd have left them in, we'd have gone over a bump and then it would have fell out, and then that would have been a world of pain if it had cracked my shower tray or damaged the walls. So I just went for a shallow one to teach myself to be disciplined, to remove them and put them away. So I'm going to go and fit this now, and I'll show you after I've done it. See what you think. So it's in situ now. It's very firm. I'm very pleased with it. I like the idea of this. Now I've set it quite low down because if it did fall off, chances are that it won't cause any damage to my shower tray. Now I know a lot of people are thinking, well, why don't you buy one of them pads that sits on your shower tray base? We did do, but to be honest with you, they're a nuisance, and to be fair, if you don't dry them out properly, which we did once, they do smell and we end up throwing them away. So like I said before, I'll be removing my items from the toiletry holder before we tow. And before you all ask, I don't have dandruff. Now this next thing is probably something that we've all suffered from at some point or another. It's to do with the fridge. We all put our items in the fridge when we're setting off, and it bounces up and down while we're going on our way. And then when we get to site, we open the door and it's either moved and slid into the door pockets on the inside, or it ends up as a big wet mess on the floor of the Caravan, and it ruins the beginning of your holiday. So I had a little look online and I found something, and I'm going to show it you now to prevent those messes and spills. So let's take a look. So my remedy for the fridge is this. I bought it off Amazon. It took about 2-3 weeks to come because guess where it came from? You're right, China. So let's have a look inside. that off. Okay, so the fridge barriers, basically, that's the best way I can describe it. They fit to the inside of the fridge, and they're adjustable, and they sit on these here. So these are adhesively stuck. Strip it open, it's not coming undone. So these fit here, like so, and you can slide it, and it prevents all your stuff from falling out of your actual fridge, which is what we've had a couple of times. Now, we don't like towing normally with loads of things in our fridge, but if we're on a short tour and we're moving from one site to another, sometimes we forget, and these are perfect for it. So I'm going to fit them, and I'll show you when they're done. So both of them have been fitted now, quite happy with that. Now, what I did before, I took some isopropyl alcohol on a cloth. Just hope that can focus for you. And just give the sides a little bit of a wipe, so I knew that they were nice and clean. And they fitted perfectly. Now, this is primarily for us when we've got stuff in transit. Obviously, when we're at site, we can quite easily take them off, like so. And then when we're ready to tow again, if we've got stuff in there, they can bob back in. Slotted in like so. And I believe they go up to about 23 inches. I think this fridge is about 17.5 inches wide, so it's perfect for us. And what else I like about them is when you take them off like so, you can shrink them down and they can just go in a cupboard or a drawer, which I think is a really good idea. Yeah, happy with those. Right, I better leave those on. Just one more thing before I do go and we move on, is obviously make sure that it's your actual sides of your inside of the door don't clash with it. Ours don't, because I tested that before we did it. So the next thing that we're going to fit to the Caravan today is a replacement set of these. These are the Malenko Stacker Corner Steady pads. Now, I had a set on the van for nearly 8 years, the whole life of the van since I've had it, and they've been fine. But when we were putting it away a while back, I was rushing a little bit and I made a bit of a mistake and I broke one. So it's time to replace them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you these stacker pads. I'm going to explain how you fit them because the instructions are not very good. And also I'm going to show you the stacker pads that you can get with it as well to extend the height of it. It might be something that you are interested in. For me, this system's worked and it's worked for a long time now, so that's why I'm sharing it with you. We're not sponsored by Malenko or supported by them in any way. So let's get them out of the box and I'll show you them now. So inside the box we have 4 of these really durable plastic feet pads. We have 4 metal rods which actually go through here and tie and connect your actual steady to it. Now these are a lot better than the plastic ones. They last a hell of a long time. Like I say, I've had mine on nearly 8 years now, and if it wasn't for my stupidity breaking one, I'd probably still have them till the day I got rid of the Caravan. So they are really well made. We also have these springs, which I'll explain more about in a moment. And then we have the locking clips themselves. Now with these locking clips, what you've got to bear in mind is once you fit it in, it won't come out again. It's a one-time fit. So just bear that in mind. Make sure you've got everything set up before you clip it in. So I'm just going to quickly show you how to build one up now, and then we'll go and fit them on the Caravan. Okay, so this is the pad itself, and on this side there is holes where the spring clip fit on either side. So I'm going to fit the spring clip in now. If you've looked, I've fitted the spring clip so the innermost length is going into the actual pad itself, not away from it. So it fits like so. Then we'd obviously go outside, offer this up, insert this over the top like so, and that will retain it like that. Then you fit your clip in, which is a one-time deal, and it goes like so. So we've prepped all four now, ready to fit, so let's get outside and fit them. So I've risen the Steady up just a couple of inches off the ground, and I'm going to slide the pad in. Now note which way I've put the spring. So you follow it in like so, and it's underneath the actual Steady itself. So what you do then is you compress the spring and offer the pad up, and then slide the bar through like so, and that is now fitted. All we have to do now is actually fit the compression clip, so I'm going to do that now. Now, the reason why I prefer the Malenko ones over the competition is basically I bought them from new, and when I bought them I also bought these, which are the stacker jacks, basically the elevated pads, and they have crosses on the base, and you get a pack of 4 altogether in a set. You can buy multiple if you wish to do so. And on the top the cross is mirrored. So on the base of the pad, again, we have the crosses, so you can stack these on top like so, and it locks into place, and you can have a multiple of them, especially when your Steadies are wound down to their extent and they're not reaching the floor. These are ideal, so that is why I choose the Malenko above the others. Today we're going to be tackling this board. Now this is the support board for the cushions, which is over the boiler in my Caravan. Now over a period of 8 years, as long as we've had the van, it's gradually started to warp and misshape to the point where the support woods underneath, which I'll show you in a moment, are not fitting properly, and this is not offering the support it needs for people to sit on, and it could encroach onto the boiler and cause damage to the boiler. So with that in mind, I've decided that we're going to take this back to my workshop in a moment and either try and fix it once and for all, or reproduce it and get a new board. I'm going to weigh up which are the better options. In fact, I might show you both options and let you decide which way you'd go. So here's the problem. You can see the profile there, you can see how it's dipping, and the wood support, which is here, well, it's not really wood, it's a piece of MDF, that's gone basically. Now they're in the factory, they're just stapled and glued on, and they don't last. So we're going to either replace this wood here with something similar, or like I say, we're going to replace the whole lot. I haven't decided, but I can't do that here. We're going to have to do it back at my little workshop. So we're going to take this with us now, and I'll see you in the workshop. Okay, so we're back at my little workshop now, and we're going to put this all together. But first I thought I'd show you the materials I've purchased. So the first thing we've got is the plywood for the base, and that is 120 centimeters long, 61 centimeters wide, and 9mm thick, which is identical to the existing panel that we've got. We've also got a length of wood, and that is 180 centimeters in length, 3.4 in depth, and in thickness it's 1.8 centimeters, which is ideal for what we need. And the next thing that I purchased, which I have had a while actually, is some vinyl sticky sheeting, and it's not quite a match, but it's as close as I could get anyway, and I'm going to be covering it in that as well when I've finished. So let me now get all the tools out that we're going to be using to do this little job, and then I'll get on with it. So I've assembled a few tools for you here now, and we have got a jigsaw, we've got a drill, we've got a craft knife here, but I'll probably be using these scalpel blades because they're a little bit more sharper and they cut more deeper. We've got various screwdriver bits and drill bits. We've got some sandpaper and a pencil, and that's more or less what we need. If there's anything else as we go along on this make, I'll add it in. Okay, so I have now laid out the original boarding, and I've pressed down in the middle basically because it's warped and I wanted it to be true to the actual edge. And I've laid it on the edge of here because I know that this is square. I did check it with a square to make sure it was, and it is. With it being machine cut, it is pretty accurate. I've gone round, I've traced everything out, and I'm quite happy with this now, so I can remove this in a moment. Now, I know that I have to write on here that this is the bottom because of the way there is a little cutout, which I'll show you in a moment, and you'll understand what I mean. So what I'll do now is I'll just lift this off now, show you what I've done. So that is our template removed, and we've got our basis for our actual new board. Now, the reason why I wrote bottom on it is because these ends are not equal. This one has 2 notches cut out, which we're going to have to use the jigsaw for. So I now know that this is the bottom, and obviously the other side is the top. So let's get on with cutting it out, and I'll come back to you when I've got a rough cut out. So using the hole saw that I have, you can use a spade bit or just a large drill bit. It's just so that you can get purchase inside here to cut with your jigsaw out the shape that is required. So I've completely cut it out now, and I'm going to finish off by finishing off with these with my jigsaw, and I'll come back to you when I've done that. Okay, so here are the originals here. Now the original, what I've done with this, I've just replaced the wood, and I could have probably stopped there, but what I wanted to show you really was making your own, especially if you've bought a Caravan and it's missing. This gives you an idea of roughly what you need to do and what type of material you need. Now, okay, the holes are not that perfect, but I'm not a carpenter, but I've had a good go at this, and I'm quite pleased with it. I've screwed it in just like I've done with the other one. Just turn it over, so these are solid. And then what I did was I filled all the holes in with wood filler, and that's just going off at the moment. Once that's gone off, I'll sand it down, and I'm going to put my vinyl on. Once I've put the vinyl on, I'll come back to you. Okay, so here they are, both finished. This is the original, and that's my copy. I'm quite pleased with it. Yep, like I said before, I'm no carpenter, but I'll have a go at anything, and I think I've done a reasonably good job. And let's put it this way, a man on a flying horse wouldn't notice the difference. Right, I'm going to get these back to the Caravan now, and we're going to go and fit them, and I'll have a chat with you. Well folks, that's the end of another Sunday tinkering. I hope you found the little jobs that we've been doing today useful and may help you out with your caravanning. Now, the ones that I'm particularly pleased with myself personally are the board that I've replaced underneath here where I'm sat. It does make a difference. It makes it almost feel like you're lifted up a little bit because of the sagging that was in the original. It's not a fault in any way, it's just wear and tear. It's been 8 years, and 8 years of heat plus backside sat on the seats has just dipped it. And now we've got a nice new one, and I hope it lasts another 8 years. The corner steadies, yeah, I know I keep kicking myself that I broke one, but at the end of the day I've got 4 nice new ones, and I like the Malenko ones because of the stacking facilities with the blocks underneath. You're not bringing big blocks of wood with you which weigh a ton and take up a lot of space in your gas locker. So all in all, I'm happy with that as well. The fridge restraining rods, I'll let you know basically because we're going to go away soon, and I'll be checking them out, see whether they work, and I'll let you know in probably another tinkering video later on in the season as to how we got on. And the same with the toiletries holder in the shower. Well, thank you very much for watching. I do hope you'll join us again real soon, but in the meantime, bye for now.